We're currently riding the trolley up to the zoo, and we're on the back so others could have the forward-facing seats because we've been here before. But this is like being tail gunners on B-17s flying over Nuremberg. Without the flak and without the Focke-Wulf 190s coming at us. And our driver is playing Indianapolis 500. She ain't no joke. Kind of enjoy that. And we're basically here. Now you're at the farm where you would have seen the type of animals that they had here. Yes, that's Spanish longhorn cattle.
They may bite.
Yeah, they may bite. And I'd be more worried about getting gored than I would being bitten. We're going to the zoo and coming up on chickens.
Hey, look, it's your kind.
I guess that means I'm a cannibal because I love them. We're going to go to the more wild animals, but none of these are really wild. They're all either raised in captivity or rescued. And if we do get to see the alligator, the big one, he would not have lived in the wild as long as he is alive now, because he'd have probably got an infection from fighting for territory. They've paved it. I'm glad we're here this time of year instead of the summer on this pavement. I guess they needed to make it ADA applicable. Okay, we will pause. That's a beehive. That you need. But we will pause until we get to the first exhibit. Squirrels have become such a nuisance. But tree rats, you're exactly right. Now we're going into an aviary. Think Jurassic Park 2 without the pterodactyls. This is pretty neat. Now I've seen a wild alligator in here. It's netted all the way around, so you can see examples of the native birds. And the ones with gray are adolescents. The white ones are the adults. And they'll eat pretty much anything they get in their mouth. Tide's out because again it's tidal. When the tide's fully in, you could see where the water would actually be up to. So if we look close, we may see an alligator. There's a turtle swimming by that bird right there. See it? The water is not polluted. It's called tannis. It's a dye from the local roots. Has no effect on the water other than to turn it brown. Means you can eat the fish out of it if you want to, and it won't hurt you. And that's for, and the little skirt on the bottom is to keep snakes from coming and other predators from getting in there and eating the bird eggs when they nest. There is one danger that you have to watch out for in a bird aviary, and that's when they dive bomb you, because you might end up with white splotches, just like what happened right there. As her reaction shows it. Get up there and get that door. She's got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You could see when the tide gets up super high how far up it actually comes into this area. Now we're getting ready to see some of the cutest things that this zoo has to offer next to me.
Yeah.
But these things are wild to watch. Not the squirrel. That's Tasty and Noodles.
What about the brains of them?
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not a zombie yet. Let's see if we can see any of them. There's none of them swimming.
Mom, put him down so sweet.
There's none swimming.
Let's see what's next. Oh yeah, I know what's next.
And you got an otter right there on the rock taking a nap. They had 2 or 3 in here at one time. It's really funny when they get in their swing and they make it rock back and forth. And then they keep them out here too, in the little creek. And otters will eat crab, other crustaceans, fish, mink, and anything else that's smaller that they can get a hold of. Sort of like Tommy too. Anything he can get a hold of.
You're not smaller than me.
Height-wise, I am. And usually they stay. Yep, there's one right there.
Over to the right.
Oh yeah, you can look at that.
Now watch the little ones. They get all excited. Is he gonna go across the bridge?
Why can't he swim?
He's choosing not to.
See, they have a swing form right there too. They love them swings.
There he is. There he is.
I think he's taking a poop.
Honey, did you get a picture with the otters over here? Statue?
Oh, oh, is he going in? And in he goes.
Under the bridge. Under the bridge. See him swimming? Can you get up there?
And we're coming to the next exhibit. Now this, if they still have them, will show you that there's a difference between the orange fox, or the red fox, that was imported from Europe, and the native gray or silver fox. And they imported the red to be able to do fox hunts, because the silver fox defeated the dogs by getting right there in the tree. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
On that limb right there, that is a silver fox. They could climb trees like a cat. That's why foxes are only put into the canine family, right? Because they have no other place to put them. They have characteristics of cats and characteristics of dogs, and you can domesticate them and they become pets, just like a dog. And they're just as emotional as a dog.
Much louder.
Yeah, they make a really, really high-pitched squawk. They're usually nocturnal like a cat, which is why you're seeing that one up there sleeping in the morning. But when
I think they're also
I think there's some of them in the pens asleep in the little doghouse. But which is why when the colonials came over, they tried to fox hunt them with the dogs and the horses, and the gray fox said nope, went right up a tree on them, ended their hunt. So they brought in the red fox, which I think all of them in the pen is asleep. I think there's a gray fox right there on the other side of that.
That may just be moss.
That might be moss. Yeah.
Yeah. Except they maybe in their little pen area.
They're in their, like, there's probably one in that doghouse right there, or in that trunk, because they'll go into trunks and sleep. They do little burrows. But
it's a really big fox over there. That squirrel.
that's a really, yeah, that squirrel doesn't know what type of danger it's in. Actually, that's probably the one that's still alive, only has 3 legs. So it might be able to get away by getting up a tree. But that's one of the primary food sources for foxes is squirrels, rabbits, moles, chipmunks, and field mice. Now rats, because rats is a European import too. But that's what you have here, and it's different. The red fox, when it was imported, found a very hospitable environment here, and that's why they've exploded to all 50 states. Okay, on to the next one. We are moving up to the birds of prey, or the raptors, said another way. And there's several varieties of raptors that are native to the US. Here's the most famous of raptors, the bald eagle. And only adults have the white head. There's YouTube videos of where bald eagles are taking deer fawns. All right, battery has been changed. Now we're getting to some owls. Birds of prey are very territorial. Generally, if they're fighting over food sources, mating sources. Here's a barred owl. The screech owls are the smallest, but they've got the wackiest, most eerie call that they do in the wild. Screech owls do. There's barn owls. Oh, they're in a feeding. They have a feeding time that they come with a tour, and boy, it's wonderful to watch. I've seen red-tailed hawks take full-grown cats. I've watched a red-tailed hawk take a full-grown corky. Yep, red-tailed hawks will have a 4.5 foot to 5 foot wingspan at the house. They're majorly big. That's why they wear the leather glove when they do falconry, because their talons would tear their hands up. And we're going on to the plains, and now this one is where they move the alligators to, so you may or may not see alligators. But it has white-tailed deer, which are everywhere now, and turkeys. But make no mistake, regardless of what you were taught in your public school system, white-tailed deer are not solely plant eaters, especially the bucks, the males. They will eat meat. Don't believe me? YouTube it. You'll see example after example. They'll eat rabbits and snakes and baby birds and virtually anything they can get their hands on. They need the protein and the calcium. Males do. That's why males eat more meat. Human males eat more meat than females do. They have goats, gray and white herrings. I do not see the alligator. Do you see the alligator? I do not see the alligator. I see turtles right there on that limb, but I do not see the alligator. They're supposed to have an American alligator in here. He could be very well down in the mud trying to stay warmer, which is what they do a lot in the wintertime, and their metabolism slows way down in the wintertime. Okay. And they've got boards explaining the different stuff. And they've got sculptures. Like this is a wolf versus an Irish wolfhound. At one point in time, Irish wolfhounds were thought to be extinct. So the ones that are now existing are from just a handful of wolfhounds. Which way do you want to go? You want to go more animals, or do you want to go back to the trolley? Your call. Make a decision.
The rest of the stuff is basic things we can just
go on.
Like
Deer and ducks.
So.
Duck is quite tasty, by the way, and so is deer. Now we're going back to what they call the livestock area, and it's a nice little zoo that's part of your admission price, and we'll pick up when we get to the next thing. This is the visitor center at Brookgreen Gardens, and they have some of the artwork for sale.
Speaking of which, I just found apple butter. Oh my god, I love apple butter. Oh, it's so good. Apple butter. Nobody wants these really sweet apple sauce stuff that you put on bread.
And when you can leave up top.
Apple butter. She's having to explain what apple butter is. I'm about ready to laugh.
I like it. It's good with apple. You could dip apples, but you can also put it on like peaches and things like that, and cheeses. It's good on cheeses, like brie.
Tina,
Yes.
I am gonna run in the back and finish packing this box.
Go ahead.
Oh my.